Absolutely. And that was the biggest thing. I think that remains to be one of the maybe most miraculous things that I think has ever happened to me, because part of it was I was also struggling quite a bit at this point in my pilgrimage journey. I was waking up each morning with a great deal of anxiety. I was trying to think my way through it. As we know, thinking our way out of anxiety works so well. Um,
Yeah.
but you're trying to think through all the steps and convince ourselves we shouldn't be anxious does not tend to work very well. In the midst of all of this, I ran into this Jesuit priest who was trying to, I kind of vented a lot to him, and we sort of realized the thing that would help me would be to be with one of my other Jesuit brothers, who
Mm-hmm.
we'd connected so much. And after thinking that that just wasn't possibility, that's when I ran into him. So running into him in general was, and this was in Manhattan. So this was in the middle of Lower Manhattan, maybe an hour or less after I told someone that that just wasn't possible. And so I think that was a big part. It would have been amazing on its own had I ran into him, but it was that state that I was in at that point in time. And I don't think anyone convinced me that that just wasn't a God moment, because we started in two different cities and we just happened to be walking down the same busy street in Lower Manhattan after I just had very much a I don't know, a bit of a meltdown, honestly. And what I really needed was a friend. And so in that moment, that's honestly how I felt very much loved by God through what can seem like very random circumstances. There's that word again, random, but through these circumstances. But I don't think anyone can convince me that God wasn't involved in that and had a hand in helping me feel loved. And in this case, like specifically through another person.